All right, here we are going to complete the square to solve equations, quadratic equations. So remember, what we have to have is the x terms on the same side. So we're going to rewrite the equation like this. Now remember, what we need to do is we need to add b over 2 squared to both sides. But b is -7, and when we divide that by 2, it doesn't come out to a whole number. It doesn't come out to an integer. It comes out to -3.5. But we have a calculator for that, so if we square both sides, or square that, -3.5, we get 12.25. So we're going to add 12.25 to both sides. We have 12.25, add 12.25. Next step is to, rewrite the left-hand side as x, and then inside with the x is always going to go the b over 2. We have 22.25 on the right. We will square root both sides, remembering to do a plus or minus square root on the 22.25. We will add a 3.5 to both sides to get the x by itself. And we have x equals 3.5 plus or minus square root of 22.25. Now, if I grab my calculator and I do the square root of 22.25, it does not come out to an integer. It comes out to 4.71699, on it goes. So I'm just going to use my calculator and come up with decimal approximations. I'm going to do the 3.5 plus the square root of 22.25 and get 8.217. I think I'll just round it to 3 decimal places. If I do the 3.5 minus the square root of 22.25, I get -1.217 when I round it to 3 decimal places. All right, part B. First thing we need to look at is there's a coefficient of 2 in front of that x squared, so I need to divide out the 2. So we'll have x squared plus 13x equals -36. Remember, when you're dividing by 2, that's the same as multiplying by 1/2. And if I multiply 1/2 times that left-hand side, I have to distribute the 1/2, so it's going to change both of those terms. Don't forget to do that. And now I'm going to add 13 over 2 squared to both sides. That's 6.5 squared. We've got calculators, so what we will do is we will just add the 6.5 squared, 6.5 squared, which is 42.25. We've got a calculator that we can use to find that number. So now we'll take the left-hand side, write it as a binomial squared. Remember that inside with the x, we always have b over 2. So there's our 6.5. -36 plus 42.25 is 6.25. We'll square root both sides, remembering to do a plus or minus square root on the right-hand side. Now, I'll subtract a 6.5 from both sides. So x equals, almost forgot the -6.5 plus or minus the square root of 6.25. Interestingly, though, if I look at the square root of 6.25, it's actually 2.5. So I have x equals -6.5 plus or minus 2.5. These are going to come out to nice integers. -6.5 plus 2.5 is -4, and -6.5 minus 2.5 is -9, and we have our answers. Okay, that's the end of this video.